Hi guys, Igor here. Today we create frontend for our the best TODO app, which is gonna to look like that. Let's go. What is the state of our app actually? We have everything prepared for deploy, but we don't have any frontend or almost any. Let's start our app. Here we have it. It failed because I didn't start the database. So let's do that. Database started. We have our app, but we don't have anything here on the main page. And if you remember, we have prepared the index HTML file, but we are not exposing that. So first, let's expose it. Javelin, you can do this like that. In create method, you can say static files at directory public for us, and let's say that location class path. Another file. Want to take it from class path because these files in the resources folder will be available in the jar, in the final jar file, which we are deploying. Okay, let's see, we have it. Go to index.html, we also have it, but it is not listening to our changes because it is getting compiled and it is a part of the package. So if you do, if we change something here like that, will not see it, but after the restart it will be visible, and it will make harder for us to edit those files. So let's change that. To do that, we will use environment variable. Let me explain. Here, let's say that we will have another variable called static files path, for example, and here we will read it like that, and we say that optional nullable. This will be optional actually. Static files path. And in other case, let's take empty string. Here we have it. And right now in our the best TODO app, let's do config static files path is empty. If it is empty, we'll take it from the class path. And in other case, we will say that static files path and the location, not class path, but external, which is file. Okay, and now let's add environment variable. Let's actually copy the path to this. So where we have it, copy path reference, absolute path. You need to do the same on your machine because it will be different for you. So let's say static files path. Yeah, here we have it. Let's run our app and let's see if it works. Okay, let's change it to something. It works. Okay. And actually, let's check the headers. As you can see, we have 304 response, which means not modified. We have e-tag, so only if we modify it, it will be changed. So you have 200 right now, we have, and the body was returned. And so if you examine that, we have the size of some bytes, resource size. Resource size is 240 bytes, and more was transformed over the network because of the headers and so forth. And this size is only the size of the body. And if we refresh it, we can see that only 126 bytes were transferred over the network, because we don't send a body, we just say that the resource is not modified. And yeah, this is one of the ways for caching files. All right, but we have everything ready to start creating front end, but actually I prefer to do this in the Visual Studio Code. So let's modify it here. How we should start? I would say that we will need a CSS file. Let's create CSS file. And actually, let me copy a few things. Okay, so we are just setting margin to 0, padding to 0, we are setting box sizing to border box, because without that, the model of browsers, how they treat sizes is pretty strange. So with box sizing, border box, they don't count padding, border and outline as height and width, and we want to have it. And we have font family, we just change it to that, and here we have fallbacks if this specific font is not available. That's pretty much it. Let's also create a JavaScript file with just some log. We have JS file, something like that. And here let's take the CSS file. You're doing this like that. Link element, relation style sheet, and link. It will be just styles CSS. And here at the bottom of the body, we will say script, and we will load the app.js. Okay, let's check. We have it. So let's style something, guys. Let's change maybe that padding to, I don't know, 12. Maybe not, maybe like 8. So let's reverse the colors. So, and the HTML root element, let's say that background color black, and the color is white for the fonts. That we have it. Let's also change the best to apps, the best to do app to those like that. All right, and we can start working actually. So we rendered our UI in JavaScript. So I would create div, which we'll be managing in the JavaScript. And let's say that we name it to-dos, maybe to-dos div, like that. And let's go to the JavaScript. Okay, let's find this div. So to use div document get element by ID to do div like that. Have a div, but we can't do anything with that. To do something, we should get to-dos, guys. So let's create a method to get to-dos async, because we'll use promise to load them. Okay, so let's do a request. So response, and here fetch to-dos relative path. It will do localhost 8080/to-dos. Let's await that because it returns promise. Let's say JSON response, and here we have response JSON, and let's also await that. Let's check what we have, and let's log an error. So log error. Okay, console. Nothing, because we haven't called it, guys. So let's call it get to-dos. Okay, we have something. Maybe let's do JSON stringify. Okay. Yeah, so we have some to-dos from my experiments. Actually, we have 3 to-dos. Maybe actually let's start with creating to-dos. I think it would be better. So let's create another div. Should be called the, we need to call it, maybe not. Let's do header, and say new to do. Yeah, like that. New to do. Here we need an input and text area, I would say. So let's create an input, give it a class. Actually, we do this later. So input and of type text, placeholder, let's say new to do name, how it looks. Yeah, something like that. Here we have text area. For description, let's say that some option to do description, like that. Okay, we want to have it after new line, I think, like that. And we also need a button, guys. Okay, so let's create a button, and let's say that add, yeah, just add. Okay, let's maybe style it. So new to do. Let's have a class like new to do header, maybe, and let's say that new to do header, I would say with 100%, and text align center, something like that. Okay, and we also have new to do name input, I would say. Let's also say with 100%. Let's assign it here. New to do name input to match it with the CSS file. Okay, I don't like this outline, so outline none, I believe. Yeah, okay. And what else? Maybe let's add margin bottom, something like that. Okay, and let's do similar thing for the new to description text area. Actually, yeah, maybe it will be the same, but let's keep it separate. New to do description area. Okay, and let's do this. Let's make it no resizable. Without that, we have this strange button we don't want to. So let's remove it. So it was resize none. Okay, like that, but probably it should be a little bigger because it is a description. So let's do height, I don't know, 150 maybe. Yeah, something like that. Looks pretty good. Let's also do new to do add button to style our button. So it's a new to do add button. Okay, let's also do with 100%. Here we have it. Let's do the color white and the background color black, like that. Yeah, let's do the border actually. So let's do white solid border. Yeah, maybe not that much, like 4 or not 2. Yeah, 2 is okay, I would say, but I would also say that font size, let's do like 2rem, maybe not 2, but something like that, 1.5, pretty nice. Yeah, let's say it is enough. Looks pretty good, guys. So let's now actually add to do. Maybe before that, let's add the list to something like we have to do div. So let's do quickly inner HTML and let's show the response of to do's. Yeah, done, guys. That's enough, right? Everything is visible. Okay, so we have this input text area and a button. We need to take input from them and use the button. So I would say that we need to have variables for that. So let's call them. Let's check our HTML. I don't know, let's say new, same as class, new to do name input. Here we will say query selector. using just, as you can see guys, we don't use any frameworks, nothing, just pure vanilla JavaScript, CSS and HTML, and you can do everything with that, everything. Okay, but query selector, we want to find element with new to do name input class, right? Then we have new to do description text area, I believe. Yes. New to do description text area, and we want to have a new to do add button, right? So new to do add button, also query selector new to do add button. Let's check what they will say us. No errors. So let's create a method to add to do. So add to do or add new to do. Yeah, maybe add new to do, and let's do new to do add button on click. Button, not button. Let's fix that. Yeah, and on click add new to do, and let's see that binding works. So about to add new to do, like that. Yeah, here we have it. So right now we need to take name and description. So let's take a name, new to do name input value and description, new to do description text area, also value, and name is required. So let's do minimal validation, like if name we created, and else let's say that name is required. Let's test it. Yeah, name is required. Okay. In other case, we need to create to do. So let's create a method like create to do name and the description. Actually, it doesn't need to be async, I think. Create to do name description, something like that. Okay, and let's copy that from the get to do's. Right now we will do to do's. We need to change that. So method is post, and the body is JSON stringify name description, like that. Okay, we have response, and we should get new to ID. Actually, if you remember, we have this format of response, so we should say that if JSON response success and something, right? So let's actually do alert also fail to create to-do and show an exception, something like that, and also here fail to create to-do, but JSON response, I don't know, something simple like string, let's stringify it like that. Yeah, and in case of success we have to do ID, so let's say to do created, we will change it in a moment, but it should work. Let's check. Add, we can't. Some name, let's see. Fail to create to do, invalid body, actually they say from our backend. Okay. Name, description. Yeah, it is not an object, guys. Here we have an object. This is a shorthand for that actually. Okay, we have to do a dot. Let's check. Have it. Okay, so right now to do 22, some tests. Okay, 27 ID. If we refresh, we have it. Okay. Let's render to dos actually, guys. We have here we have get to dos. Let's do something similar. Actually, fail to fetch to dos, and here let's do similar if statement, so fail to fetch to dos like that. Okay, and if success, let's need to render them. So I would say that we need render to do function, and here we will just go through JSON response data. We have to do's here. Let's go with for each. So let's render to do. Okay, let's check about to render and one to do like that. About to render, yeah, we have some to-dos. Dogs are barking, unfortunately, but we have to-dos. So right now let's render them. What we have in our HTML file, we have to-dos div, and here, exactly here, we will be adding to-dos, but in the JavaScript. So let's start with something like to do div. Let's create element div like that. Yeah, and something simple. So to do header, or to do name header, and let's say that create let's create element h2 and to do name header, let's append child. Let's create text node. So text node to do name like that, and let's up to do a div. Let's append child to do name header, and let's add to do div to to-dos div. To-dos div is a container for all to-dos, and we just created to-do div representing one to-do. So let's append child to to-dos div with the one to-do div. That should work actually. Yeah, we have it. Okay, but we don't have description, so let's say that, or maybe not here, but to the div here maybe. So to do description, I know, paragraph, probably document create element p, and to do description paragraph, let's append child document create text node to do description, but actually not, because it is optional. So yeah, I would say if to do description, if we have description, only then let's do that. At the end we have to do description, to do div append child to do description paragraph, also keeping in mind the order. So that should be higher here. Okay, let's check. Pretty neat, I would say. Okay. So we have to-dos, we can add to-dos. Let's maybe also create a class for to-do div actually. And let's say that with 100%, and let's maybe have similar border to the button. Let's see. So we have to do div class created here. We need to add it in the JavaScript. So to the div class list add and the class. So to do div, let's check. Okay, looks nice, but I would say we should have some padding here, a margin. So let's say margin, I don't know, 4 pixels or 8. Or maybe actually let's only do margin bottom 4. Yeah, but maybe not 4 but 8, something like that. Okay, that looks pretty nice. And what else? I think we don't handle new lines properly. So some to do, first line, second line, third line. If we do that, we refresh it. Yeah, so we need to change the paragraph. I think it was what it was actually. I remember that it was pre-wrap, white space maybe, pre-wrap. Let's check. Yeah, white space pre-wrap. Okay, let's check if something long like that. If it scales properly, nope. Okay, so I think it is not good. Let me check that. Okay guys, it was break word. The white space was correct, but we need to say word break so that words are broken if they are too long, to new line like that. Okay, that's pretty neat actually. We have a list. Let's maybe actually refresh it, make it more reactive. So after creating new to do, let's add it to that list. So all we have to do really is to render to do. We have a method to render to do. So after creating one, all we need to do is to say render to do. So name and description like that, and it should work. Let's add new to do. Here we have it. Pretty nice, pretty nice. What we can't do, we can't delete to-dos. So let's add that. Let's add that. So to do that, I would create a button somewhere here. So let's check actually HTML X symbol, and we will use that. This is built-in icon in the HTML and CSS. So let's use that. Basically, in render to do, we add it here. So after header, let's create to do X. I don't know, button, even though it will not, or maybe to do X element, create element span, and here we actually will say inner HTML because it needs to be HTML. Like that, and let's add it to do div like that. Okay, something went wrong. I don't know what. Yeah, but never mind. We want to have it here, not there. So to do that, we need a class also. So to do X element, let's say class list add to do X maybe. Okay, and let's say that to do X. First, we will say that position is absolute, so we can have it here in the top right corner. So top 0, right 0, and we also need to change the parent to do div to have position absolute actually to support that. Okay, something went wrong, guys. Not absolute, but relative. Because absolute will be positioned to the top, also relative or also absolute element, and if the parent is not relative or absolute, it is positioned this element in the relation to the root element, so the document. We don't want to have that. Okay, now it is working, but we still don't have our header for some reason, and I don't know why. Oh yeah, here guys was a bug. Okay, looks pretty almost good because it is too small, so let's change the font size to, I don't know, 2rem or something like that. Yeah, 2rem. Let's maybe say that margin 0, padding 0. Okay, and let's say right, I don't know, 4 pixels, something like that. 8. Yeah, pretty nice. And let's also say that cursor pointer, for example. Yeah, it is better. So right now we need to have on-click listener for them. So here, let's say that to do X element on click, and let's say that delete to do, but where? Okay, maybe here async function delete to do. We need to have ID actually here, so to do ID, let's say that delete to do ID. Okay, yeah, so here we need to also give to do ID to support that. Let's see if it works or not. About to delete to do like that. Let's see. Okay, seems to work. Okay, so let's actually go and delete it. Similarly to that, fetch, but with delete. And if I remember correctly, we need to send to do ID in the as a path variable. So we need to only state that to do ID. We have response. Response is empty. Fail to delete to do. Fail to delete to do. And let's see if it works for now without doing anything. Or maybe actually let's ask for confirmation. So I would say that if it was confirmed, I believe. Are you sure that you are done with that to do? Okay, something like that. And if not, we will return like that. Right, let's run it. Yeah, we don't. want to delete that. Okay, but in the case we do, let's test. Let's remove that. Okay, to do deleted. Yeah, and it is deleted. So similarly, I would say that we should refresh it. To do that, we need to find the to-do in that list and remove it from the DOM, from the document object model. But how we can have it, how we can do that? We don't have ID for to-do. So let's add a custom attribute like to ID attribute data to do ID. Data is a prefix for the convention for custom prefixes for prefixes for custom elements in HTML. So here we will say that to do div set attribute and to do ID attribute to do ID like that, and this will allow us to delete this to do easily. So let's say function delete to do from UI, I don't know. Yeah, and to do ID delete and to do from UI, have to do ID. Here basically we'll do to delete to do document query selector, and we say that for the element with with this attribute to ID attribute equal to do ID, we will take to do's div, remove child, I think, remove child, something like that. Okay, it should work. Let's see. Yeah, here we have it. Again, pretty nice, pretty nice. What else do we need, guys? We have deletion. But actually, if we create new to do, some to do, we have input there. So maybe let's also remove it. So create to do. Let's say that after that, let's say that new to do name input is empty, and new to description area value is also empty, but maybe not here, but here. Okay, and right now, after creating to do, it is cleared. Okay, let's remove some to do's. What else do we need? I think that one thing at least. If we do that, that doesn't look good. That doesn't look good. We should have something, some elements to say that we don't have anything to do. So let's create that. How? We have to do div. Let's create something like no to do's header. Yeah, I think it's header is enough. Width also will be 100%. Text, font style. Let's do italic. Okay. And we basically will attach it to the to-dos div if we don't have to-dos. Okay, so let's create a method to render no to-dos header. Basically, no to-dos header document create element again h2 and no to-dos header. Let's append child. Let's create a text node and let's say nothing to do. Let's plan something, for example. And yeah, and what else? To-dos div append child no to-dos header, like that. And no to-dos header needs to have inner class. Need to add it. Need to add class to it. No to-dos header, like that. And here, actually, let's say to-dos, and if to-dos length is more than 0, we render them. Okay, and in the other case we render no to-dos header. Yeah. Yeah, maybe let's also say that it should be centered, and actually this one also. So for that, maybe let's go only with h1 with 100%, super simple CSS, text align center. Yeah, nothing to do. Actually, maybe let's say that that's better. That's better. And if we add, will it work? No, because we need to remove it, guys. So yeah. So rendering to do, not that simple actually. Not that simple, because here yeah, not that simple, because we need to remove this when oh yeah, alright, now we can say that no to-dos header document query selector no to-dos header, and if no to-dos header, we say that to-dos div remove, like that. Okay, something didn't work. So what it was? No errors. Remove it. Okay, now it worked. Have no to this header, some to do. Okay, it doesn't work, but why? To do Steve. What we delete from you? Remove child. Okay, remove child. Mistake, and it should work. Did it actually? Okay, no to do's. Yeah, it works, but we have other problem, right? So we do that. New to do, some to do. Okay, but right now we want to have it. So delete to do from UI, and if the again to do div children length 0, render no to do head. Something dirty like that. Let's add it, let's remove it, and we have it. I think all cases are covered. We add it, some to do. Yeah, we remove it, we have. Yeah, I think pretty much it. Maybe we can refactor something. Render no to this header. Yeah, maybe let's take that to a method. Remove no to this header. Yeah. Remove no to this header. Add new to do. It's okay. The delete UI from from UI. Some to do. New to do. Add it. Delete it. Pretty nice, guys. Pretty nice. One to do. Long description to do. Too long. Okay, we have some long description. What about the title? Long title. Long title. Too long. Okay, still. Interesting. So it can be pretty short. Yeah. Does it scale? Yeah. It scales pretty well. So I think we have everything, guys. Let's also validate that it works not only in the IDE but in our Docker image. So let's do bash speed and run up. Export db password. Yeah, I think tests will fail. Yes, because we have added that. Let's create another constructor that doesn't require to pass the static files path. So db user, db url, db passwords, password, db url, and empty static file. Now it should work. Okay. Now let's see. Tests are passing, package is getting built, and we should have our front end again, but through Docker. We have it, guys. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's do this on. Oh, that's not so good. That's not so good. Maybe let's say that, yeah. So hard to do that here, but it is possible. So let's fix that with the CSS. I think we just need to say that this header shouldn't be so long. So new to header, maybe let's do this is that. Where we have it, we have to do div h2. We don't have a class for that. Okay, so let's create it. TODO header with something like that. So let's say that TODO name header and TODO name header. Actually, here let's fix that. Let's check. Yeah, right now it's okay. Yeah, pretty much that's enough, guys. We have pretty nice reactive front end. Can add and remove to-dos. Front end is connected to the backend. We are consuming our own API. In the last episode, we will deploy it to the internet. So stay tuned, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I see you in the next one. See ya.